be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman. They are both fantastic deals and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering Commander Legends preview. Previews, spoilers? I don't know what you like to call them. You call them something, just don't call them for dinner. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Reshape the Earth. It's the green part of that cycle. Have we seen the white one? I don't think we have. I do not think we have. But there's one cool thing that I'm going to show you in a second. Never mind. The other site that I use from time to time doesn't have the thing that I'm looking for, so regardless, shut up. The white one has not been spoiled yet. We've had the red, we've had the black, the blue, and now the green. 9 mana. Search the library for up to 10 land cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Not basic lands, just 10 land cards. Man, what's green really known for doing? What are they known for doing? Oh, right, ramping. Right. So even though this costs 9 mana, this is easily like a turn 5 card. I can't wait for my opponent to play this, and then I can blow up all the lands. Because I'm sick of green ramping so fucking much. Put a creature onto the field, or something, come on. Freaking turn 1, I'm gonna play a ramp card. Turn 2, I'm gonna play a ramp card. Turn 3, ramp card. Turn 4, ramp card. Turn 5, because I'm playing green and not white, I get to draw a bunch of cards, and wow, now I have the most cards in hand and the most lands. Am I salty? Yes. Regardless, this is probably a little bit better than Boundless Realms, I think is what it's called. Boundless Realms, yeah. It's similar in CMC. This is based on the number of lands you control, but, you know, green doesn't just ramp with lands. They do ramp with mostly lands, but they don't ramp with just lands, so this potentially is going to be giving you more cards anyway for essentially the same rates. You know, 7 versus 9, not a big difference when you're playing green. I could be super wrong, but still, I think this card is potentially dumb. Emoti? Celebrant of Bounty. So the thing is, so before I talk about the card, I'm talking about the art. Based on, like, a lot of the accoutrements here, it really seems like this creature is from Amonkhet. Especially since, like, Bounty of Luxa, or the Luxa River, I think it's Luxa. But the Amonkhet snakes don't have 6 arms. Not even the Kamigawa snakes have 6 arms. Yeah, they have 4 arms. I don't know where. Oh, right, excuse me. These aren't snakes. These things are snakes, right? These are snakes, but this is not a snake. Okay. Even though these ones have feet and not like a snake body, and this has a snake body and not feet. This, not a snake. This, snake. Wizards. What are you doing? Yeah, I don't know where this person's from. I think soonish we'll be getting another story, a brief story for the legendary creatures, so we'll probably learn a little bit more information about this creature. But still, she is a good old-fashioned 5-mana 3/1. Not the best. Cascade, though. Cool. Spells you cast with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade. Looks like I'm making a deck with the 4-mana or the 4-colored Cascade card. Because I think Cascade is funny, and what I'm going to do is run as many decent Cascade cards, and then a bunch of randomness. It's going to be true chaos, and I can't wait. They're going to be like the fun random cards too, not like the warp worlds and crap of the world. That's not fun. Fun cards are like unexpected results, right? That's fun, right? Not freaking like warp world and scheist. No, I mean, she seems fair. 5 mana, 3/1, you get a Cascade, so at minimum you're gonna get a 4. But what's really cool about this is, first of all, Cascade stacks. So if you play a 6-drop with Cascade already, it'll have Cascade twice. If you play like a 7-drop and you Cascade into a 6-drop, that 6-drop will have Cascade because of this card. So that's cool. It's just fun Cascade nonsense. Thalthis Shadowcat Familiar. So apparently the Familiars are also a cycle. So we have the white one. I think that's the horse. The blue one is an owl that we'll get to in a second. The red one is the cute lizard. I don't know if we've seen the green one yet. I don't think we have. But anyway, 3 mana, 2/2. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. Yeah, this seems about on par with the other ones. This itself is 3 mana, 2/2 with Menace and Death Touch, right? This can help potentially for playing Death Touch Tribal. I guess technically Menace Tribal as well. But actually, I think the best part about these commanders, these little familiars, is that you can kind of like play them as just random bonuses, right? Like you play your main partner commander, and you're like, I'm building around this commander. I could potentially play another one of these partner commanders. It doesn't feel right? I'm playing around this one, but I still want to take advantage of that partner. Give it a familiar. Bada bing, bada boom, you're good, right? So that has potential. Once again, yes, pricing. I gotta mention like every time I see this dude's art because it is fantastic every single time. No, it's good. I like it. Necrotic Hex. I love it. 7 mana, sorcery. Each player sacrifices 6 creatures. That includes you, for what it's worth. But you create 6 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. They are tapped, which is a little unfortunate. The thing is, like, even if it's an empty board, it's still 7 mana for 12 power worth of creatures. And they have relevant creature type. Like, this is not bad. The fact that it's symmetrical can be an issue. It might not be. You can play this in a Aristocrat style deck. Or you could just play this in, like, a zombie deck. Like, maybe you sacrifice 7 of your zombies, you have Grave Pact triggers, forcing your opponents to sack more than 6. You have things like Plague Belcher or Undead. What is his name? It's Undead something. What's your name? Want to be early. Oh, am I dumb? It's not Undead something. I can see the cards in my mind's eye, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's Vengeful Dead, dumbass. Venge. Dead. Yeah, Vengeful Dead. You have, like, Vengeful Dead. So, you know, more zombies that die. You just get some nice triggers off of them. So you get some sort of value. Your opponents have to lose things. It gets around indestructible because it's sacrifice. Obviously, if someone has something that prevents sacrifice, like Sigarda, that'll be unfortunate. But, you know, this is actually great against something like Avacyn, right? Avacyn, Archangel of Hope. I can't remember. The OG one, the 8 mana card that gives all of your stuff indestructible. This is helpful. Even if it doesn't get rid of Avacyn herself, this does still get rid of 6 of their creatures, which is going to be a lot. I mean, six is not nothing. And considering black is one of those colors that has access to some pretty decent mana generation because of things like Cabal Coffers. What is that thing's name? Cryptghast, things like that. Because of things like that, you'll be able to potentially have this pretty easily and still have mana left over. Like, this card's fantastic. I do plan on trying it out in Giza. I guess also you could just play this in a deck that doesn't run very many creatures at all, or ones where you don't care if they die. So if you're running like a enchantment, like a Pillowfort or Oloro deck, for example, you don't run very many creatures, this is totally fine to go in there. It's a nice way to bolster your board while also just like yeeting your opponent's boards and getting around specifically indestructible. If you're playing this in a Planeswalker deck, especially since you might have access to doubling season, right? Being able to yeet a bunch of things, your Planeswalkers are unaffected, and then you get 12 zombie tokens. Like, that's something good. I just realized, talking about this, it goes in token decks as well, because token decks, for what it's worth, are going to be the least affected. You just get rid of your lamest tokens, you bunch of 1/1s, and then you get more tokens, potentially even more tokens, right? If you have doubling season plus Anointed Procession out, bada bing, bada boom, that's 24 tokens, and you got rid of your opponent's card. So I definitely like this card. I love the design of it. Could have been 5 black, but it's whatevs. Honestly, I think this card was too powerful for them at 6, because, you know, 6, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't technically have 6/6/6, that'd be great. But I think this was too good at 6 mana. Because, like, there are other board wipes at 6 mana. And they do, like, other things. But I think maybe it was too good. And they're like, oh, we really should probably push this to 7. I think it's more fair on 7. And they're like, but yeah, but like the whole 6-6-6 thing. So I think that's why this is 6. I think this is actually entirely so they could do 6, 6, and 6. But I could be wrong. Nightshade Harvester. It's a 4-mana 2/2 elf shaman. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, that player loses 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on Nightshade Harvester. I love this card. I love the design of this card. You are punishing heavy ramp decks, not by as much as I would like. In a 40 life format, a single life is not worth much. Honestly, I would rather see this card have no +1/+1 counter bonus and just make them lose more life. Preferably 3, but 3 is probably excessive on something that isn't a multiplayer format. Like 3 is like 9 damage per turn, right? Like you're player A, you're hitting player B, C, and D. That's 9 damage from one card, so I can see where that would be too much. But on 2 life, on 2 life, the ramp becomes like, the life loss from the ramp becomes actually impactful. Whereas on 1 life, it's annoying, but you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess with the thing is with the +1/+1 counter on it, right? This card is still good, right? As I said, like you play this on turn 4, or potentially sooner if you're. Oh my god. Oh man, imagine turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 this. Weh, delicious. But still, you know, your player A, B, C, and D all played a land. They each lost 1. That's 3 total life loss. And this is a 5/5 now, so you're attacking with a 5/5. So I can see how it's good. I just like the part of this card that punishes lands more than the part of this card that grows. It's a good card, don't get me wrong. She's being reprinted. You know, she's cool. This is not. These are not great images. Skyfall tries their best. Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn. So we just got Emil. This is now Lathiel. I wonder if. Where the fuck is Emil from? Was Emil on Eldraine? Oh, this is just a jumpstart card. Oh no, they're nothing. They look nothing alike. This looks more like a Ronom unicorn, I think. Ronom. Yeah, this looks a lot more like Ronom unicorn with the hair and tufts and stuff. I guess the horn is still super different, but whatever. Anyway, 4-mana 2/2 legendary creature unicorn. Lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained life that turn, distribute up to that many +1/+1 counters among any number of other target creatures. She cannot become bigger with her own ability. That is important. That said, you can distribute, so you get to choose essentially however you want to do that, and it's up to that many. So if you gained 4 life, you get to put 4 counters among other creatures you control. It's not creatures you control. You can target your opponent's stuff. Okay, that's cool. I like, those of you who've been around for a while, you might know that I like when you are able to choose suboptimal plays. That leads to interesting things. There's a card in blue, I think it's in blue, where like if you target a creature, you gain control of it or something like that. I don't remember, but I'm fairly certain there's a card in blue where if you target something, you gain control. I know there is, Dream? Dismiss into Dream. Each creature your opponents control is an illusion addition to its other types. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. This targets, and it's an ability. Dude, I'm coming in with the deep cuts. Dismiss into Dream, right? You have this, and Dismiss into Dream. You get to just like gain life and snipe all of your opponent's creatures down. It's a deep cut, but it's interesting. Commander's Plate, $50, reasonable. This is an amazing card for monocolor decks. It's also a decent card for Voltron decks, not Tron decks, Voltron decks. I know they're the same derivation, but they're different. 1 mana to play. Mwah, love it. 5 mana to equip. That's pretty steep. 3 mana to equip a commander. That's not bad. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. It has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. First of all, if you equip this to a colorless creature, every color is not in your commander's color identity. You have protection from every color. Nice. If you have a 1 color commander, let's say 8.5 tails in some sort of Death and Taxes style EDH. Let's say that. You have a commander who now with this plate has protection from essentially every color, blue, black, red, and green. Is a 5/5 now because of this sweet boon, and has a way to give itself protection from white. Bam. This card's fantastic. This card is literally fantastic. Obviously, this makes you want to play fewer colors, but even if you're playing this in a three-color Voltron deck like Rafik, this still gives you protection from black and red. Red does do like some board damage stuff, but for the most part, meh. But for black, like black is removal. Black is heavily played in EDH, just generally speaking. So even then, like it's still good. Don't play this in Animar because Animar already has protection from the colors that it isn't. Yeah, no, it's cool. Obviously, don't play this in 5-color commanders like Sliver Legion. It has protection from nothing. But yeah, no, this card is absolutely fantastic. Oh, this should not be in here. Give me a second. Okay. Arami of the Dead Tide. 3 mana, 1/4 Merfolk Wizard. Tap, exile cards from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents you have. Target creature card in your graveyard gains Encore until end of turn. The Encore cost is equal to its mana cost. So early game, you have to exile more cards. Right, so you have 3 opponents, you gotta exile 3 cards in order to get one of your creatures Encore. But that creature will, when you exile it, you will be able to have that creature attack 3 players, right? So that's fair. Against one person, you only have to exile 1 card in order to get the card back, in order to get the exile. Now, exile card. There aren't typically cards that get you things back from your own exile. So I'm not sure. So that's one of the reasons why I hated Gyrus, I think. Oops. Oh yeah, Gyrus. It's because Gyrus is a reanimation commander that exiles your targets, right? You have to exile a thing and make a token of it, and then you lose the token. It's a self-defeating commander, right? Like you are going to get a creature back only for a turn, and then you can't get it back again. This card is not great because of that, and my assumption is that this is going to be the same. You have to fill up your graveyard. You have to fill up your graveyard, and you still have to pay for the card, is the thing, right? Like, it's not like you're getting the Encore card for free. That would be too good, probably. But you still have to pay for the actual card, and you're losing so many cards. So I don't see this card being remotely good. For what it's worth, it's an uncommon legend, so. Flamekin Herald? That's not possible. There's already a Flamekin Herald. What? There's not? What are you talking about? I thought there was totally a Flamekin Herald. Card from Lorwyn. Wait, are they not called Heralds? Apparently they're not called Heralds. They're called Harbingers. Shut up. 3 mana, 3/2. Elemental Wizard. Commander spells you control of Cascade. Yeah, I mean, this just goes in the Cascade deck. Does it just go in the Cascade deck? Probably, right? It does just give your Ogre Commander Cascade. Because I don't think your Ogre Commander comes with Cascade, right? God, I forgot what his name is. Let's see. C. Blue, black, red, green. O. Cascade. Hell yeah. Yildris. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player. As you cast spells from your hand, this turn they gain Cascade. Yeah. Yeah, so he doesn't have Cascade himself, so you can give him Cascade. Sure. Jury, Master of the Review. 2 mana, 1/1, Human Shaman, Rakdos card. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a 1/1 counter on Jury. When Jury dies, it deals damage to any target equal to its power. This is taking Mayhem Devil, kind of, and combining it with, like, Candleboy, Firelit, Flamefoot, Firefoot Devil? Who cares? I don't. Or like Dreadhorde Butcher, things like that. So you can have a sack deck. Oh, this doesn't have partner, which is very sad. It's very sad that it doesn't have partner. Because if it did, you could put it alongside of something like Tana. So you can have like more things to sacrifice, and you're in like the colors of sacrifice. I mean, with just red-black, you probably have enough. But like, I don't think this dethrones. I mean, it definitely doesn't dethrone Prosh. Prosh is a stupid combo commander anyway. I don't think it dethrones new Jund Boy. Sad Kingman who turned into a dragon, whose name I've forgotten. I don't think this dethrones that. Gets bigger. He does have to die. Although I guess if you're playing a sacrifice deck, it's not going to be too hard to make sure that he can die. No, there's an argument. If you want to play red-black aristocrats and not like other versions, this is reasonable. I think this card is going to see play somewhere. So you could just play a Rakdos theme deck, which is fantastic. The reason this is included, it is a reprint and not exactly like a costly one, but the reason this is included is because it has been downshifted, so there is a Pauper board wipe. I don't know if Pauper has other board wipes that are playable, but this does seem playable at least. The issue is black doesn't need any more help. Neither does Tron. No, it does need help. Turbo Fogged. Rat King of Llanowar. No, this is Llanowar Abomination for certain. 3 mana, star, Elf Vigilance Menace. You'd be like, this is Vigilance. It has many faces. Shut up. Rat King Llanowar Abominations, power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves you control, plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard. This is like a really weird elf lord. Usually you'll see things like Azuri who buff all of your team, or at least buff all your elves. You'll see that one 3-drop lady who's on Arena right now, who gets a +1/+1 counter and taps for elf mana. Like, you'll see stuff like that. I don't think you typically see weird ones that are like just bigger. Because it doesn't have Trample. It is Menace, which is good. But like, the thing is, right, like, it's an elf commander. Because it cares about your elves. Right? If it just said creatures you control plus creatures in your graveyard, that's whatever commander. But this specifies elves. I don't see this being a commander. Like, this might be fine in a 99 of somebody. Okay, apparently it's not Glint. Whatever. Some green-black elf lord who I don't know because elves, essentially. Them and more folks can go themselves. Yeah. Nevinyrral. Urborg Tyrant. Nevinyrral is from Nevinyrral's Disc, which enters tapped, and you can tap it to destroy pretty much everything except for lands and planeswalkers. 6 mana for a 3/6 zombie Vizard. I wonder. I don't remember. Is Nevinyrral? No, it says Urborg right here. You dumb idiot. Bruh. Why am I stupid? Anyway, hexproof from artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Can't be targeted by those things. Cool. Cool, I guess. I don't know. When it enters the battlefield, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token for each creature that died this turn. It's a little unfortunate that it doesn't have flash. Just so, like, if an opponent what wraths the board, then you could do stuff like that. But I think the point of this creature is that you play, like, a bunch of board wipes. But whatever. Hilariously, when this card dies, you may pay 1. When you do, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So what you do in a deck like this is you play all of, like, the instant speed sacrifice spells. And you always hold up enough mana to use this and the ability, right? You play things like Village Rites, Altar's Reap, right? All of that stuff. Maybe even you play a couple like Wolf Riders, Cartel Aristocrat, Viscera Seer, right? You play a couple of those as well. And the point of this card essentially is like, if anyone ever messes with me, I'm going to wipe the entire board. It has to be a land, because this blows up artifacts and enchantments. So like Leyline of Anticipation or Vidalcan Orrery. Focus on my face. Thank you. Vidalcan Orrery, like those wouldn't work. They wouldn't work. So you know, there's you can't play Alchemist Refuge. I think there's another. Is it Boshiji? Shelters. Boseju who shelters. No. Not what I'm thinking of. Was Alchemist Refuge the only one that can give your creatures flash this turn? I don't know. There's one card that I can think of. Scouts something. Scouts Call. Scouts Warning. Scouts Warning potentially you can play. But yeah, the hilarity is like someone picks with you, you sack this, you pay it, destroy everything, and then you immediately bring them back, like the same turn, and get an army of zombies, right? It's a meme, but it's funny, and I want someone to play it. Like, and the entire point of the deck is like, I'm going to just heat you with Nevinyrral. That is my goal. If anyone messes with that goal at any point, I'm blowing up the world. It's cool. Each technique. Salvage Splicer. 5 mana, 1/1 Human Artificer partner. It is a Splicer from Phyrexia. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token. Essentially, this is a 5 mana 4/4. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each Tekic, and a +1/+1 counter on each Golem you control. Cool, we have a Golem commander. The unfortunate bit is that there are splicers in at least white, blue, and green. I don't know if there's a splicer in black or red. Is there? No. Okay, so white, blue, and green. There are not very many splicers. The blue, I guess, doesn't matter, but still, like, at least make this green white, and then you have a cool little Golem Lord. You can play Golem Tribal, whatever. Rayhan being reprinted, always nice to see. Annoyed Althasor. 7 mana. Dinosaur. 6/5. Reach Trample. Cascade. In Commander, probably not very good. This is a common. Maybe it sees play in Tron? I don't know. I doubt it. But maybe it does. In Paupertron. Calm down. Galarna, Caller of Wirewood. Wirewood Symbiote. 3 mana, Elf Druid 1/2 partner. Tap, add green. When you spend this mana to cast a spell with CMC 6 or greater, draw a card. Yeah, that's frightening. I mean, just play Big Fangs. Just play Big Fangs in green. And keep getting to draw cards. For what it's worth, I do think this card's there. But boring. Izior, look at this. Adorable. Did Jesper... Oh, he did! He did do all of the familiars. I'm gonna look at all of them in a second. Izior, Ward Wing Familiar. 2 mana, 1/3, bird. Flying bird. Partner. Spells your opponents cast that target one or more commanders you control, cost 3 more to cast. For what it's worth, I think this is not super strong. Maybe it would be too good to give your commanders hexproof. But... or at least make it spells or abilities. Because Single target removal, you know, exists in Commander. Don't get me wrong, and frankly, more people need to have some versatile single target removal. But unless your commander is like a key combo piece, and for what it's worth, it has to be a partner commander that can do its thing on its own, then I'm not sure this one has a ton going for it. That said, I am going to look up all of the familiars. Oh, we have the grid one. I just didn't consider this part of the same cycle. Also, this is... No, yeah, I talked about this one the other day. Yeah, just crashing. Okay, in context, this card makes so much more sense. Yeah, in context, this makes so much more sense. This one is the one that gives your commander indestructible. Then you have this one, Menace and Death Touch. This one gives tax ability, I guess, and this one buffs the commander. So yeah, we don't have... Wait, no, where's the... Oh, there he is, Sparky Boy. So yeah, we don't have the white. No, we have the one. White, blue, black, red, green. Yeah, okay, we have them all. And they're all done by one of the best artists of our time. This art is second to none, dude. Hull Breacher. Dust in the wind. All white is dust in the wind. 3 mana. Flash. 3/2. Merfolk. Pirate. Already, I hate this card. It's a blue card with flash with decent stats. If an opponent would draw a card, except the first one, they draw on each of their draw steps. Instead, you create a treasure token. So you remember what I said last time, where Wizard gave the color that had the most tutoring, the anti-tutor card. Now they're giving the card, the color that has the most draw, an anti-draw card. It's possible that this is a cycle. If it's not, you're really going to give 2 of the best colors in Commander cycle, amazing cards. But here's the thing, what's white best at? If you said anything other than life gain, you're wrong. You're like just wrong. Like white has a monopoly on nothing. On actual nothing. Except for like maybe it's just like the best at life gain. Like if you want life gain, you go straight to white, even though you can find it in black and green. If the white version of this card is bad, I am going to be livid. This card is an arguably better Smothering Tithe. And Smothering Tithe is a staple in white. Do you know why? Because it helps white. Do you know what this does? It makes a card that's already good even better. You get to flash this in. My fucking god. I just realized this card does not say draw 1 or more cards. This is on each draw. If your opponent casts a spell that has them draw 4 cards, instead you get 4 treasures. I thought this was an instance and you get 1. No. No. Your opponent casts a spell to draw 4. If it's not the first one they drew, you get to have 4 treasures. They get nothing. Moving on. Because I don't want this to be me just being angry. Mana Drain. I have to give it to Wizards. There are some cards that are essentially only played, I mean this one obviously, in Vintage and or Commander, that have a hefty price tag that are not in the reserve list. And Wizards is, like, so far, they've done a decent job of grabbing some of these. It's at Mythic, sure. This is a 170. This $200 card. It's not going to be. This version is not going to be $200. This is absolutely going to keep its market price. This is absolutely going to keep its market price. This one probably will go down by a little. This might go down to like 100. This is a good reprint. Just for monetary. Like, I hate you if you're playing this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I hate you if you're playing this. But it's good that they're reprinting these cards, right? Like, where else are they gonna reprint this card? I'm very happy that they're printing this. And for what it's worth, this being included means that the average mythic value is higher. So there are going to be, just innately, essentially, fewer mythics that are trash. Or, I shouldn't say fewer mythics, but like, at least the average of goodness in the mythic slot is a little bit higher because of the inclusion of a card like this. So, Reyev, Mastersmith. 2 mana, 2/2 Dwarf Artificer. Got that fantastic beard. Whenever an enchanted or equipped creature you control attacks, that creature gains double strike until end of turn. I really wish this included or was a vehicle. Like whenever enchanted, equipped, or crewed creature you control attacks, that creature gains double strike. I think that'd be cool, but whatever. Helpful for your Voltron decks. I've said it previously. I really appreciate the fact that they are lumping enchanting and equipping together, so that you can kind of cross benefit. This is the type of thing that I'm talking about when I talk about Canid unification. Having dog be a type that can be put on normal dogs, but also wolves, foxes, jackals. If you want to make jackal specific support, you can still do that. If you want to make dog overall support, you can still do that. So yeah, I just think that it would be cool if they started doing that the way they do this. Same for snakes and nagas, for what it's worth. Like, I think snake should be like the universal one, and whatever you decide is a naga, that can be a naga. So that Emoti or whatever, it would be a snake naga wizard. I think she was a wizard. You could say, but Justin, her text box. Shorten it. It's fine. Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. This is a callback to Sakashima the Imposter. This is a 4-mana human rouge with partner, and she's mythic. I did not realize this was a mythic partner. You may have Sakashima enter the battlefield as a copy of another creature you control, except it has this card's abilities. The legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. This is going into Creature Riku so fast. So fast. The deck doesn't have a ton of legendaries, because of course you don't necessarily want it to. Wait a minute. So oh my god, this is awesome. Okay, so the deck already has Kiki-Jiki, right? Kiki-Jiki just makes cards. He just makes clones of things. That's why he's in the deck. He makes token copies of my creatures. Cool, nice, cool, whatever. That's in Creature Riku. But here's the thing. Oh, you son of a... All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Oh, that makes me sad. It's still going in Creature Riku. I don't know how many legends are in the deck, but it's a clone that does other things. Sure. If nothing else, I can have this clone Riku, and then I can get double duty Riku action. I'm sad. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm sad. Sakashima's Protege. This is a 6-mana shapeshifter, 3/1 with flash and cascade. You may have, I like the wording on this card, you may have Sakashima's Protege enter the battlefield as a copy of any permanent that entered the battlefield this turn. Note, this says permanent. This is not just copy creatures. This is a pretty good protege if they can copy more things. Since it's worded this way, if you cascade into something that you would prefer to turn into, you can turn it into that. And because this card has power and toughness baseline, it means that, let's say you're on an empty board, you're just hoping to get something, but you don't. You're not completely screwed, because this at least has power and toughness. Oh, and also it has flash. This card's really cool. This card is super cool. Yeah, this card's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Probably also going to go in Creature Riku. Sakashima's Will. Are you sensing a pattern? So wills are the other is another cycle. 4-mana sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control. You gain control of it. They get to choose, but you can get the creature. Choose a creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. This is going into Creature Riku. If for no other reason, then it's funny. Oh, also I can cast this spell twice. You cast this, copy it with Riku. You get 2 creatures from your opponents. And for what it's worth, changing your creatures twice doesn't actually matter all that much. But still, it's a very cool card. What other wills do we have? S. Will. I know Yawgmoth's will is going to be up there. Oh god, this is more wills than I thought. Can I do CMR? S. CMR. It worked. Okay, sure. So we are currently missing the white one. So we have Jessica, Tavish, Kamal, and Sakashima. I wonder what the white one is going to be. Coerced Recruiter. Probably one of my favorite cards. Also, going into Creature Riku. 5 mana, 4/3. Orc Pirate. Whenever Coerced Recruiter or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. Until end of turn, it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. First things first, I'm going to talk about the flavor text, because it's fantastic. Choose Vampire. Our hat on your head. Or no hat. No head. Fantastic. Fantastic. Threatening. She looks horrifying, which is good. This card is... I'm going to say a side grade, but in many situations, potentially upgrade of Zealous Conscripts. Same mana cost. This one, less power, innate haste, and this can gain control of any permanent. But the reason this card is stupid, specifically with the other card that combos with Zealous Conscripts, which is a card we looked at already, Kiki-Jiki, is because Kiki-Jiki makes a copy of this. This says itself or another pirate. Or another pirate. So, you have Kiki-Jiki. Tap, make a copy of this. So, first of all, you cast this. You already have Kiki-Jiki. You cast this. Give itself haste. Or give Kiki-Jiki haste. I don't care. It does not matter to me. You tap Kiki-Jiki, make a copy of Coerced Recruiter. The first one triggers, the copy that you made triggers. Because the first one sees another pirate enter. So let's say you gain control of and untap Kiki-Jiki. Oh, but wait, there's an extra thing here. You steal an opponent's creature. You tap. Make another copy. First one, second one, copy. All trigger. First one, untap Kiki-Jiki. I have 2 things here. That's mine. That's mine. Hey, do you remember that card that was a Grixis colored and said I think it was also an Orc Pirate and was like the player whose turn it is may end the turn? I'm fairly certain that the way this works is you just get to keep those. But mainly, you have another infinite combo with Kiki-Jiki. Does this work the same with Splinter Twin? I assume it does. Splinter Twin. Put a token as copy of this creature on the battlefield. So tap, make a token. That triggers, this triggers. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah. No, this. Wow. It's fantastic. Utterly fantastic. I love this card because it's an additional copy. This is probably gonna it's gonna go into the Kiki Pod decks in Canadian Highlander. I think the Kiki Pod decks are playing Zealous Conscripts, right? Probably. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. This card's fantastic. I love this card. I love this card. The art, the name, the flavor text, what it does. I love every bit of this card. And like at the worst, even if your opponents have no creatures, you can give this thing haste. I love it. It's just wow. It's fantastic. I love it. It's fantastic. Kengi Skywarden. Kengi is another throwback to an older card. I think the older card is better though. Kengi Airy Keeper. But X Feather counted on it. All birds get I feel like this is potentially better. Could be wrong. His beak is I don't understand him. That's it. Bird Wizard. 5 mana, 3/3 flying vigilance. When he attacks, attacking creatures with flying at +2/+0. When he blocks, blocking creatures with flying at +0/+2. Essentially, this is a Fly Lord. You want to play flying dot deck? You can play this. You can play bird dot deck with this. Birds fly? Not all of them, though. I think like River Hoopoe doesn't fly. I think there are a couple. Whippoorwill, or something doesn't fly. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Bird Commander, it's an uncommon. It doesn't need to be super great. It's cool. Kengi's Lieutenant. Or excuse me, Lieutenant for my non-American English speakers. 3 mana, 1/1 flyer. When it attacks, attacking creatures will fly and get +1/+1 until end of turn. Encore. Yeah, nothing to really send home about. Bird tribal. Glacian Power Stone Ingenieur. 6 mana, 3/6 Human Artificer. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. From the top X card of your library, put one of those cards in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. The fact that this puts things into your graveyard is a good thing, not a bad thing. He, I believe, is the spouse to Rebecca. Yeah, I think that's the case. And it's a very bad thing that I don't play blue all that often. This has potential. I think the main issue is, like, the fact that it has partner is great. Oh, this is another card I think that just works with Silas, right? Yeah, I mean, this is another card that just, like, works with Silas. Because you get to tap some artifacts, especially ones like Microsoft Wellspring or whatever, that don't have an active effect. They just like do something on trigger or whatever. You just tap those. You get to scry for a bunch. I guess technically it's more like surveilling. Whatever. You get to draw a card. Doesn't matter which one of those it is. And then you get to just put a bunch of nonsense in your graveyard, and you can just be like, hey. The nicest thing with this, though, is that you don't have to choose to do it until, like, after your opponent declares no blocks on Silas. I believe. Choose target artifact. Yeah. The thing is, you have to have something in there before this trigger goes on the stack, because you have to choose targets. You have to choose as trigger. Blah blah blah. Yeah. You have to choose as it goes on the stack. But still, your opponent declares no blocks. You just be like, all right, before combat damage, tap some things, yeet a bunch of nonsense. Hey, look, I can cast this stupid artifact. I'm gonna cast this artifact. Oh, cool. Yeah, fun stuff. I do want to check. Can I sort by rarity? Why is she a mythic? Is she actually a mythic, or is it just because of the treatment? I legitimately don't know. See, Bronco I can more understand for some reason. I don't know what's decided to be mythic or not. This one probably a dud-ish mythic. I'm fine with all of these partners, even if they are mythic. I don't think they will be. Maybe they will be. I honestly don't know. Potential dud. I mean, they're like either dud, but they're all either like reprints of relatively desirable cards, or like nuts reprints. So 1 nuts reprint, 2, 3. And I think it's just those 3, right? I mean, this card's dumb, but I don't actually think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a stable price. But yeah, so only a couple of like nuts reprints, but still, like even just these, like I'm looking at this mythics. I'm looking at these mythics so far, and like I'm not upset to open these. Yeah, no, I hate to say it, but this set's shaping up to look pretty good. It honestly even looks fun to draft, although unfortunately the world is on fire. But I'm liking it. And with that, we're essentially done here. At least for today, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwin and Malik, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. It sounded like I had an error. Until next time, all will be one.